because Supabase edge functions run on this environment called Dino, and Dino is just like new, shiny, cutting edge node, but it's just fucking annoying as hell. Like, so many things are not compatible with Dino, and the things that are compatible with Dino, you often have to like run as WebAssembly, and it's just, I felt like every package I wanted to install was a fight to get it working in Dino.
Sometimes the Supabase edge function works, sometimes it's not, and it's definitely not showing up on the front end. It's not being it's like it's showing up in the edge function thing as like a logged hit, and then it's not actually going into the database, and I don't actually know how to do this in Supabase. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
How's South Carolina?
South Carolina was great. Had sorry.
All right, we'll start recording again.
You don't want to leave that?
No, keep it rolling. Keep going.
You don't want to leave my hacking. Yeah, picked up a little bit of, I don't know, crud. Not even a cold necessarily, just like got super congested for a few days. But had a great time with my family. Took my parents to Korean barbecue for the first time ever. They'd never tried Korean barbecue, and they loved it. I made some butter chicken for my mom's birthday for her and some of her friends. My mom got a new kitten.
Whoa!
So that was fun. Her name's Ruthie.
Nice.
Full name RBG. She's my mom's resistance kitten.
Very good. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, things are good. I canceled last week's podcast because I was trying to get some work done on a client project that we just shipped. Congrats to the Dreadnought team. Their website's now live.
Absolutely.
Super cool to see. It absolutely was not that I was procrastinating on my promise to finish the onboarding flow for MetaMonster.
Right.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with
your mom's birthday kitten. I don't believe any of those things. Just kidding. Happy birthday to your mom. I don't know her name, but
Allison. Allison had a great birthday.
Okay, happy birthday, Allison. Cool. Or Miss Haskins.
Allison's fine. We are adults.
You might be an adult. You can make buttered chicken. I can't. Cool. But that was a fun, hectic launch to get everything live. But
it was. Yarrick is a beast, man. Yarrick, just there were so many things that he just took and ran with, and like the like image generator app that he built to apply like one of the effects that we created for the website, like without anyone asking him to build it, was sick. The client loved that. Yeah. He's a beast. I feel I am a little worried that he hates me because I was constantly like, hey Yarrick, can we change this? Can we change that? Like, got another request for you, but no, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's do you think, and the guy's a part-time professor.
And he's a part-time professor.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's out here teaching kids design things. Yeah, he's pretty good. We're very lucky to have him. So
yeah.
Cool. Okay. So we skipped, just for context, for people that missed the last episode. 2 weeks ago on our weekly episode podcast, Andrew promised that for the next podcast he would have his onboarding flow for a SaaS app done. It has been, we missed an episode, so technically this is the new episode. So is it done? Are we, like, can we see it?
Define done.
You define done. I don't know what you had in mind.
Okay, so I would say the we're over 50% of the way there. Can
I reset my password because I forgot it? And
no, that's one of the things that I still need to do. So you can sign up for an account. As part of the sign up flow, you have to pick a plan, and then that kicks you out to Stripe checkout, and then kicks you back to the product. I have the webhooks set up to like register that you've got an account, and like the auth middleware like kicking you out of the site if you don't have
Nice.
a subscription. So that was like the big chunk of work that was in my mind. That is all done. I'm testing on the live site right now. I just pushed it live, so I'm testing it just to make sure that everything's working. Need to switch over to like prod Stripe keys and stuff like that, but that should all be functional. What I still have to do is all the annoying little minutia that you should probably have around like a good solid sign up flow. So integrating our email marketing tool so that you can control your marketing emails. Making sure that the Stripe confirmation email is being sent out before you get charged. Adding a settings page so that you have a place to go to find a billing link so that you can open up the Stripe billing portal. Adding forgotten reset password. Updating our privacy and terms of service. And this is starting to veer into more like launch prep, but privacy, terms of service, onboarding emails, those are the things some things I need to do too. So I would say it's like, I think realistically it's like 70-80% of the way there. Some of this other stuff is like I see as more scope creep, but it's scope creep I'm probably going to tolerate because I think it'll just make the experience feel a little bit more polished on launch day. So
Isn't it like I feel like especially because I've been messing around with especially because I've been messing around with like Lovable and Bolt and everything, and like building these like apps, like building a fully fledged SaaS with a login and everything. Like not that it's not just that it's like so much work. It's like there's so many things in every SaaS app that we're so used to, like everything that you just said,
yeah,
that are all things that are solved for, but like there's just so much to build.
yeah.
Um,
And AI is
including
really good at this kind of stuff. It's really good at this boilerplate stuff. I've been
uh,
using, I think I talked about this last time, but I've been using Cursor a ton to build this stuff out. But then it still is just pretty time consuming because
yeah,
it's all like integrations, and so it's touching Stripe, it's touching Loops, it's
yep,
touching Supabase,
yep,
and so like all of the integration stuff, testing that just takes time, and like
yeah,
that's largely human time still.
yeah,
So
yeah. And honestly, it's so fucking annoying to do.
it's boring. It's not fun. It's just boring crud work, but it's got to get done.
Yeah,
I mean, this is the appeal of starter kits. Like this is why so many people have made so much money off of starter kits,
sure.
is people don't want to do this work. But the problem is those starter kits all kind of force you into a certain design aesthetic or a
Yeah.
certain like structure to your code that a lot of people don't want. So I'm also sort of looking at this as like, we really like Nuxt so far. And so I'm
Mhm.
looking at this as like, okay, we're building our own starter kit. And if we, build something, like ideally I would have taken Chartjuice would have been that for me, but like
Mhm.
I didn't build Chartjuice on Nuxt. I built it with Vue.
Mhm.
Um, and so I think it would be easier to port a lot of what we have with MetaMonster over to something new if we needed to build a new
Yeah.
product. So
Yeah.
that's good. Um, there's something else I was going to say there. What was it? I don't know. It'll come to me if it was important.
Hmm. For your onboarding, are you doing so I was messing around with this as well, to not just do like a sign in or create an account on like the Lovable apps I was working on. Are you doing anything like onboarding questions, invite your team, any of that like UX stuff, or are you going to leave that for a next phase after you?
That'll definitely be a next phase.
Gotcha.
Um, oh, that's what. Right. I've got something I want to tell you about as like that's my next up project.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that'll definitely be a next phase. depending, I may see if like as I'm building out the settings page, if I can add a form to like probably not. I may add a team member, have like an add a team member flow. I really want to have add a team member because one, our only customer has requested it. Um,
Hell yeah.
you
Right,
you have
right. Yeah.
requested it.
Hell yeah.
And then also, like we're billing based off of pages crawled.
Mhm.
If you add more team members, that's more people to crawl sites and crawl pages. And like,
100%.
so like, it makes sense from a product led growth perspective to build that in as soon as possible.
For
But
sure.
um, it makes sense to build a lot of the things we want to build. So, I don't know if that'll actually make the cut. But uh,
Yeah.
it's definitely on my radar. So yeah, our sign up flow is pretty minimal. Um, you know, email, organization name, password, and then you have to pick a plan. And you get a 7-day free trial. But let me make a note. I gotta double check to make sure I've got trial set up in Stripe. I think I do. But yeah, you get a 7-day free trial, but you do have to pick a plan and enter a credit card. We're gonna do credit card
Mm.
up front.
Nice.
So
Nice. Did you find any? I know you were looking for like UX related like of products that made you do that. Did you end up finding any?
dude, not really. Like I had a really hard time um finding good examples of people who require a credit card up front but still
Yeah.
do a free trial. The norm has just for so many sites has become
Mhm.
no credit card required
Don't you feel like
flows.
for a while, plenty of these companies wanted credit card upfront? I feel like there's
Well,
so many that felt like that.
so one of the things that I've heard Rob Walling and Asia Matos say,
Mhm.
wait, her last name's not Matos anymore. Um, Arangio, I think.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but
Um,
yeah,
Asia's awesome. She's based out of Atlanta. She's like a marketer who
cool,
does a lot of work with like the bootstrap community.
cool.
Um, but so one thing I've heard Rob and Asia say is um, that no credit card required works is like kind of ideal once you have a little bit more product market fit and have your ideal customer defined. Like basically, requiring a credit card up front is going to reduce the number of signups you get,
Mhm.
but um, it's going to increase the likelihood that the people that do sign up are like very interested in your product. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of ideal when you're at our stage
Mhm.
where you don't want to be wasting a lot of time like accidentally building features for people who don't really want what you have to offer.
Mhm.
Um, but then as you have a better and better like onboarding flow and your product, you have a better idea of who your ICP is and how to reach them and like how to activate them once they get into your product. That's the perfect time to then increase the number of people coming in so that you have a better chance of like just getting more eyes on the product and getting more people to like experience the value you can offer. But it's like you're just going to be poorly optimized for that from the start by
Mhm.
nature of being early stage.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's kind of how I've started to think of it. So it would make sense to me that like a lot of people start off credit card required and then end up removing that requirement. Um,
Yeah, I think that checks out. I think that makes sense. Um,
a lot of the SEO tools have like a weird Moz, I think still is credit card required.
mhm.
Ahrefs and SEMrush are sort of like a weird hybrid where it's not technically required. Like they technically have, like I think Ahrefs is like not required at all, and then
Oh,
SEMrush like tries to encourage you to
gotcha.
put a credit card in, but then you can skip it,
Mm.
and they just like put you on their free tier or something like that. It's kind of awkward, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, um, the next thing that I'm going to tackle once I finish this,
Mhm.
we're we just did a big round of crawler updates.
There's a
Um,
big crawler guy on the
yeah,
page now.
Austin is getting sick and tired of the crawler. He is so tired of it. But like
Oh,
we
I
had to
just thought
try
there was
like
a big monster pointing at the
oh, okay.
thing. That's what I meant by the crawler guy. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you were calling Austin a big crawler guy.
No, no. I mean,
Yeah.
medium. I don't know.
Austin is getting
Sophisticated.
sick and tired of the
Uh,
crawler. But like he's finally got that to a point where we think it's going to do a good job of evading bot detection
oh,
and just
nice.
scraping content much more reliably. So we're excited about that. Um, and so he's going to start moving on to WordPress integration, which
Cool.
means we need a test site for WordPress.
Mm.
And since someone moved their WordPress
Someone
site
was back.
over to Ghost, no, I think this is the perfect time for me to explore my inner content goblin.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah.
I'm envisioning like having a different test site for like my dream is now to have a different test site for like each CMS that
Mhm.
is some type of monster and is like just
Love
an
it.
AI generated content experiment. So
I
do
love
like a book notes monster or book monster,
I love it.
and then do like a cocktail monster and like a do
Dude,
a bunch of
just so
like
you know, I still own bubbletearecipes.com if you want it.
heck yeah,
If you wanna
but it's got to have monster in it. It's got to
I
be Bobo Monster.
don't do Bubble Monster.
Bobo Monster is so good. Bobo Monster is so good.
Yeah, it's just like did you see that did you see that Simu boba thing where like
Oh no.
so Simu is like
Yeah.
on the Canadian Shark Tank, and these two non-Asian people came up and like we reinvented boba that's natural and healthy,
Yeah. Fuck
and
that.
everything. And he's like, it's just tea and milk. I don't know what you meant natural, all this stuff. But they
Tea,
had an
milk, and a lot of sugar usually, but
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Anyway, it was just one of those sort of like things or
yeah.
internet situations. So,
Stay away from
but
Bobo Monster. Got
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I like the idea. The idea is sick. I love this. Yeah. Yeah. I also love that you can also then like have a gallery of like here's Meta Monster at work. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It should be fun.
Nice.
So, um, yeah. What's going on with Miscreants? You'll have a lot going on right now.
We do have a lot going on. I do feel like I have just a little bit more room to breathe after this week with the launches.
Sick. Yeah. You
Um,
launched 2 client sites?
yeah.
Dang.
One after the other. It was good. I went outside for like the first time today all year. That's not true. On like a work day, at a meeting in the city. That's why I'm not just wearing like a hoodie and a t-shirt or a t-shirt on this call.
I'm literally wearing a hoodie and a t-shirt.
For sure. I guess my point is this is one of the times I'm not wearing like the same hoodie multiple days in a row. Not MetaMonster, sorry. Miscreants is good. We just sent out an offer to this like really great product marketer.
Hell yeah.
Excited to bring her on. We're prepping to go to RSA. I got to figure out hotels. They're incredibly expensive. It's
Ugh.
like
When is RSA?
in 2 months from now, April 28th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'm also prepping to go to MicroConf. Very exciting. That
Yeah.
is
One of my best friends might be going to that, by the way. I don't know
that's me.
yet.
I'm
One of
it's,
my other best friends.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So y'all should meet up if you're both there. I'll let you know
No,
if he ends
totally.
up going.
Is this his
Rami?
Rami? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet. QR code guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. What else is happening in Miscreants? We just sorry. We also just are bringing on our junior started yesterday. Was off today.
Oh, sick.
Is coming back tomorrow for more and more official full time. So welcome Claudine.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's cool. We're growing. To find a product marketer, we actually used a recruiter for the first time. Which was crazy because like
didn't y'all work with a recruiter a few years ago? Like
Yeah, but it was like kind of a friend who was just helping out
Oh,
and
okay.
tossing some things. It wasn't like real like
Mhm.
recruiter stuff. This was like that was like a friend who is like an awesome recruiter in the space, but very this was like we had to pay them, a percentage of the salary and
Yeah.
talk to them. And um I think I've always hated recruiting agencies,
Yeah.
and I've always thought they were useless because the work has to just be so easy. I was wrong.
Oh, it's
I
not
was
easy
wrong.
work. No,
I know.
it's definitely not
I
easy.
was
They're
so wrong.
they're s I totally understand why they exist. They just charge so much that I could never afford it, but, um,
For sure. For sure. But, I think like JJ and I did our own route, even interviewed people, and like fundamentally, like it's a night and day difference of who we found, and definitely expensive. Definitely very expensive, more than, yeah. Um, but honestly, I think like like I'll pay like low five figures to find like the right person.
yeah,
Um, so,
I
yeah.
if you have the margin to do it, it makes
Mhm.
total sense. And like hiring just heats up time, and so
Yeah.
having someone take all that time off your plate,
Yeah.
huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
cool. Glad it's been a good experience.
yeah. I mean, it was like it was the first resume they sent actually. Who
Damn.
ended up being the person that we found. So like arguably it was like a 4 hour turnaround to like find this person. Um
I'm sure you also made the recruiter's day when you actually liked the first person that they sent over, because I have
oh,
friends
I
who
know.
are recruiters, and it's like when they have a client who won't hire anyone they send them, it gets so frustrating.
I do wonder about that because it's like I wonder if there is a limit. I didn't see the contract. I didn't handle any of the like those conversations, but
Yeah.
I was wondering like what if I'm just difficult? What if I just keep wanting to talk to people? Um yeah. That's why it never worked out with marketer hire when we tried that, because they give you like one person and you have to like interview them and say no for them to give you the next person.
Hmm.
um or it's like you can't be like wishy-washy really about like the people that they give you, like they stand their ground
Mm.
significantly about it. So like
So you can't like interview three people and be like, okay, this person is clearly better than these people. And if you get
yeah,
someone who's like, they're pretty good, but I feel like they could be better, then you're kind
yeah,
of stuck either saying no or yes.
yeah, I feel like that latter situation is like is what I ended up facing, and I couldn't keep going with it. Um, anyway, it was cool. Otherwise, I may or may not have just sat in front of my computer and just like banged on Lovable for a very long time and
Nice.
hit. So that thing we were talking about with like all the things you have to do for like a SaaS.
Yeah.
Um, first of all, Lovable or Bolt just needs to come out with like starter kits at this point. It's really annoying that they don't just have starter kits. Um,
Actually makes so much sense. Yeah.
yeah. Because I have to redo it constantly, whereas they could just do it. Subframe is doing a good job at this from the front end side. They're just giving you like these like template, like Subframe's different, but it has an AI feature now. Um, but sorry to go back, like I use Lovable. I was trying to build the changelog
Yeah.
Webflow app.
So tell me about this thing that you're
Okay,
building, because like you sent it to me, and um,
right,
I
right, right,
I remember you mentioning like, hey, I want to build a web. You've been talking about a Webflow changelog for a long time,
for sure.
but then you kind of decided to build it. I feel like in between
Yeah,
podcasts or something like that, and then
yeah,
you started making progress on it, but then it's also morphing and evolving into something else, and like you
yeah.
aren't
The
going to
scope.
sell it, or you are. I can't tell.
I don't know. I'm not sure. The scope has kind of changed significantly around it. Okay, so it was a side project I picked up because JJ was out last week, and I didn't want to run through like working with a dev or figuring like the prototype out without looping her in,
Mhm.
and then it dying on a branch because I get too busy. So I found a project that I can just go do. The idea is that like fundamentally version control is different in Webflow versus in like standard Git based version control, right? In Git, you have a main branch, devs branch it off, it gets PR'd, it gets turned into a PR, another
Yeah.
dev reviews it, it gets merged back in. Great. You have one main branch, that main branch gets pushed to staging, and then it gets pushed to prod.
Mhm.
Webflow is different. Webflow, you have basically two environments live at the same time. You have a staging, a .webflow.io site, and then a main thing. So you actually have two main branches running at the same time. Enterprise sites get to branch and do fancy things, but most of our clients aren't on there. So we have basically two things where we basically push updates to staging, it gets checked, and then it goes to prod. The crappy thing is, um, like anyone can hit publish at any time, and anyone can make changes at any time. Anyone, as in like any of our devs, but also clients. So
Hmm.
we run into a lot of different types of problems. Like one is clients sometimes just straight up create things or make changes and everything or whatever.
Hmm.
And we have people in different time zones. So someone in SF might make changes, and then someone on our side in Poland might make it might publish something live or publish something to staging or vice versa, but there's none of this communication back and forth. Um and what I'm sort of suggesting doesn't solve for every single part of it, but it solves for a lot of it. Another thing is that like we don't have like you can't do like git commit messages, you can't do publish messages. We've been hacking this by just having a webhook where every single time someone hits publish, it goes to a Slack channel that's shared with our client.
Hmm.
But one that requires like someone to hit publish every single time, for the client to see it. And also, technically, we only do it with like one or two clients, who have like active client devs. Um, the other problem is that when someone's working on something, they're also not just making one. Like a publish in Webflow is not the same as a commit. Um, like a dev might publish 5 to 10 to 15 times before they're finally ready to show it,
Hmm.
because they need sometimes we have custom code and everything, you need to see it live. So that Slack channel just gets blown up with published messages. The idea in that Slack channel is that like every time you get publish something, um, then you like sign it basically saying like I did XYZ thing, it's a bug and whatever, which does happen if we like push to both prod and dev at the same time, which is like a merge. But also most of those things happen where everybody knows and everybody's together. Like usually it's on a call or whatever that something's going live. So the idea is build a layer on top of that Slack channel, essentially, or rather just like build a SaaS that instead of taking the Webflow webhook and pushing it to Slack, take the Webflow webhook, push it to this to like a Supabase edge function, fill up a table with all of these commits. So I started digging deeper into this because it turns out Webflow actually has a lot of different webhooks
Hmm.
that are just not public to you. You just have to set it up through the API. You can track pages created, CMS collections updated, um,
Ooh, that's a good one.
form submissions, e-commerce items, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, because Webflow later on has also built this thing where CMS publishes are different than regular publishes. So
Oh.
actually, there's three different environments all at once, that can be updated. Um, and you don't, like there's no visibility when you're doing something that
Yeah.
someone's press stage for publish by accident, or schedule or draft or whatever. So the idea is that this gives you like ultimate visibility into it. We have like three different branches that are live at the same time, and then a activity queue. um, and then the idea is that you can then like select a bulk, it's tagged to the person who did it because it's the Webflow user. But then you select as many of the ones that you want, and you can kind of basically group them, or in version Git based version control, you would be squashing commits.
Hmm.
You can squash them together into an actual commit. So everything is an event, and you squash them into a commit or a change or whatever, um, which is really cool. And then it sort of continue to expand as I was working on it, because I get to like basically do product manager in my head while my dev in front of me is building all of it. So then I was like, okay, if we can do that, why don't we also allow custom activities tracked on this map, right? What if we want to do QA? What if we uh, make changes outside of Webflow, like in HubSpot with forums and stuff, and maybe we want to track that? What if we want to track just like custom events, such as like one of the cool things about this is that we can actually show significant changes of like website performance over time. So if I wanted to say like because we did all these changes and we squashed it into a publish into a commit, since this commit, before this commit, you see that like bounce rate was 60%. After this commit, you see that bounce rate was 40%. Clearly
Ooh,
something
sick.
changed. So that's cool. And then it was like, okay, but like if we can add custom events, clients should also be able to add custom events in the form of requests.
This is where you lost me, by the way. Everything up until now, like when you were talking about it, I'm like, yeah, cool. This is all change log related. This is all like performance related. And
Right.
then now you're like, now I'm like, my product manager brain is like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're now changing the job to be done pretty drastically.
But it's okay. I tell me if it is crazy, right? Like to me, a public change log responds to like a canny, right? People, users are always saying like I want XYZ thing. They upvote it, and then um, when you use canny, you can say like, okay, we responded to XYZ request, and now it's finally pushed. And the idea is similar, where a client can request a feature or even a bug fix,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we squash a commit, we can tag the request that it's supposed to be tagged to. They might do it, they might do it in like, they might, instead of using their feature thing, they might do it in uh, their ClickUp or Monday or whatever, and that's fine
Slack.
too. We can always just kind of link it, but not all of our clients do that. More clients actually just do that stuff on like Slack, and that in itself is annoying. Not annoying, it's just we have to like watch it like a hawk. Whereas if we actually just have them make commits, or we make them make requests in here, then we can tag the requests in the change log. It's kind of cool. It feels useful.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
You might be bringing me back around.
good, good, good,
I
good,
mean,
good.
it does still feel like scope creep. I feel like
Oh,
MVP,
100%.
my MVP brain is like, you can ship without like half the things you just talked about, and
100%.
start testing and getting people to use it. But
Oh, oh,
yeah,
the MVP is done, and I still and I just ripped it apart. 100%. I'm with you. Um, yeah, yeah. I might have been in just like a caffeine haze at the time I was doing it, all this, so I'm not done. It kept growing. Um, um. Okay. Like we started thinking about like what are like other things, or not we, I started thinking about like what are other things that clients ask for, and like what are, like, if the client is in here, it's a client dashboard, right?
hmm
What are other things they ask for? So for example, one of the things our clients are always asking for is a brand kit. And like, it's not hard for us to make like a one pager brand guideline or whatever, but it's really annoying to make every single time. Like we got to put it on a one pager. We got to like make various types of these logos, and then we like, the client's never going to Figma to download it. They're just always asking us for it on Slack. And
hmm
what if they logged in? Like, I don't think the client would give a shit if we gave them just like a login that was, I was like, here, download all your stuff here, grab colors and everything
I
from
still
this.
don't think they'll use it. I think they'll still just
Uh,
message you in Slack and be like,
that's
"Hey,
fair.
what's this thing?"
That's a good point. That's a good point. I really should. I actually, you know what we should do? We should actually build that as a Slack bot,
Oh, now that's interesting.
because they can just request their files like that. Yeah.
Although then they're gonna message you in Slack and not ping the Slack bot, and you're gonna have to be the one to go in and ping the Slack bot.
Yeah, but that's just like lower friction. That's it's better than dealing with like having to go to Figma, export it. Like, now we have like a, I mean, this is because I don't have like great, I'm trying to get better at this, but like I don't have great file cleanliness and everything.
Mm,
Like, if I had perfect client folders, I could just grab it for them and dump it. I have to go to Figma, download it, realize that it's like, you know, client name underscore logo dot svg parentheses 3, because I've
yeah.
done it a billion times
Yep.
already. um but yeah. Oh, okay. So the other thing is, if we are going to start attaching requests to different squashed commits, it was like, one of the other things that we should also show is like affected pages, right? We should have a form field, or like a text input field. It's like, in this I made XYZ changes. There is a description field where you can put photos, and
hmm
you can put photos and stuff in there. um but there's a description field, but it'd be nice if like we could also like tag specific pages that we're working on. um And in the future, even like auto tag, because you can see some amount of changes, and it's kind of iffy. And I don't want to get that deep into like, I mean, one of my best friends was building a crawler and has been very sad about it. So, but now there is just like a sitemap parser. You just dump in the XML, and then it adds all the pages to like a Supabase database, so
Cool.
that you can tag each one, and then, yeah, and then it's just, okay. So I did all this as an MVP without auth. I did a lot of this as an AP without auth. Some of it was working, some of it wasn't, whatever. And then I finally was like attached to the Supabase, and then I had Lovable build auth, and it completely like shat itself. It couldn't figure it out. And I realized what needed to happen was I needed to figure out the database schema, like everything that I wanted, because like at that time when I built it out with Lovable, like when I built out just the features of Lovable, I went to Supabase and I told it I want organizations, workspaces, client users, and like agency dev users. It couldn't understand all of that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
So the first however many tokens, like probably two, like I don't know, however like 200 million tokens were spent rebuilding just in like a organization, workspace, client, user, like blank app
Yeah.
with Lovable, and then I forked it on Lovable, and then now am building, like I have rebuilt uh this tool on like a very shitty version of a starter kit. Yeah. Anyway, all this to say, at this point, I don't even like it just feels like I'm doing Webflow. It's just like if it doesn't feel like I don't feel like AI is doing any of the coding for me except the like literally the syntax. Like sorry, AI is not doing any of the software engineering for me.
Oh yeah.
It's just the code monkey.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, I honestly had the same feeling when I was using Cursor. I was like, this, it starts to feel like you're using Webflow.
yeah,
Even though Webflow, like you're editing values, and so you still have to like kind of understand how CSS works a little bit more. But it's that same feeling of like, of, yeah, I'm just kind of pushing things around and a lot of
yeah,
trial and error and like moving stuff around and
mhm,
seeing what sticks.
yeah,
But yeah, you still have to do the like actual hard thinking
yeah,
about how do I architect this and how do I make sure my classes don't turn into chaos and
yeah,
all of that jazz.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's okay. I mean, it's nice to not have to learn Next.js
Yeah.
like properly. So
So what's next for this project? Like, are you planning to like start using this with clients soon? Like, what, do you have a goal?
uh there's one more thing that I've never gotten to work with Lovable and Supabase, and it's just the actual webhook receiving portion. I think Webflow's very good at making sure the webhooks things are consistent on every single thing. Uh, Sometimes the Supabase edge function works and it's configured correctly. Sometimes it's not, and it's
Hmm.
definitely not showing up on the front end. It's not being it's not, it's like it's showing up in the edge function thing as like a logged hit, and then it's not actually going into the database. And I don't actually know how to do this in Supabase.
I might be
I'm
able to
trying to.
help if you want to
Yep.
like pair one day, because I did a decent bit of messing around with Supabase edge functions for
Oh, cool.
Chartreuse.
Oh, cool.
Um, I am avoiding them like the plague with
Oh,
MetaMonster because
nice.
Supabase edge functions run on this environment called Dino. It's
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
Dino is just like new shiny cutting edge node, but
Yeah.
it's just fucking annoying as hell. Like
Oh,
so
really?
many things are not compatible with Dino,
I see.
and the things that are compatible with Dino, you often have to like run as WebAssembly.
Mm,
And it's just, I felt like every package I wanted to install was a fight
I see.
to get it
I see.
working in Dino.
I see.
And yet there's like massive discussion
Uh-huh.
threads in the like Supabase community of people being like, please switch edge functions off of Dino. Or if
I
you want
see.
to keep Dino, fine, but give us a version that's just
Yeah.
plain Node. And the
Mm,
Supabase team just being like, no.
skill issue. Um, yeah. I see. Maybe I won't use edge functions. Maybe I'll figure something else out then.
I
Anyway,
mean,
that's
standing up. I know this gets you out of Lovable probably, but like
that's okay.
standing up a little node server that's just running Express is pretty easy.
True.
You can deploy it to Netlify or deploy it to Render or something like that, and then
Yeah.
Express, like a little baby node server, is pretty easy to use. Or if you were, you're using Next already,
Mm-hmm.
so Next probably has some sort of like server layer. Like Nux has a Nitro server layer that's just a little node server. So you should be able to like write. You might even be able to get Lovable to write to that instead of writing edge functions.
That's true. I'll look into it. Anyway, that's the last part. I basically like spent a bunch of time redoing it. It was nice to redo it because I knew what I wanted the second time around more, but like doing all the auth, doing all the organization, the workspaces, and then all these like core features and trying to get it to not break on all these features. And now I actually have to make it connect with Webflow, which is kind of the
whole
hard part
thing.
I haven't figured out. Yeah. I did everything but the MVP part, but all the shitty things. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see where it is next week. You think you'll have it connected to Webflow by next week?
I'm gonna tell you a really quick story, and then we'll wrap up because I know you have to run.
Yeah.
I went to a dev who we were gonna go to the dev for like our actual SaaS product, just like to build out like a prototype and to like get it done. I went to him first because I was like, hey, here's like most of my app. Can you just like connect the webhook stuff for all this stuff? Like, here's all the documentation. I know how to do it. I can add it to the site, all that sort of stuff. I can even manually add the webhooks to Webflow. I just need you to build something that receives all this sort of stuff. And he went, and then I told him about the other Webflow project that I'm working on, and he went, the other one is easier. So,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So I have concerns.
Oh, I would not have expected that.
Yeah. That being said, I think he doesn't like. I think he's saying that like webhooks typically are not stable and all this stuff, and doesn't trust Webflow to do it. And I'm kind of on this, in like the camp of like, if Webflow fucks up, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Also, like everyone in the world uses Stripe webhooks to power payments, and like keep your payments up to date. So
I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting take.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I gotta run, but yeah. Okay. Excited to see where it is in a week, and
I'll probably give you a demo earlier so you can help me
Yeah.
with this edge function thing. To be honest,
and then hopefully onboarding flow will be actually done, and we'll be getting really close to paid beta by next week.
Dope. Cool.
All right.
I'm excited for it. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.
Later, man.
Bye.
Bye.